Dear friends, welcome again to this channel today. The topic we are presenting to you is, are genetically modified organisms or bioengineered foods safe for human consumption? In the charming universe of current food creation, the conversation encompassing genetically modified organisms, GMOs, or bioengineered food varieties has become the overwhelming focus. And it is something that everybody ought to have on their radar. This appealing discourse is not just about the items on your plate. It is about the fate of our food and your decisions for our prosperity. GMOs offer an answer for worldwide food security difficulties, and they guarantee to decrease the requirement for hurtful synthetic pesticides. Nevertheless, these advances in farming innovation accompany a scope of various kinds of feedback about their effect on human well-being. In this article, we will dig into the heap of motivations behind why a few people are selecting to keep away from GMOs or bioengineered food sources in their quest for a better, more feasible life. This is your chance to comprehend the reason GMOs matter and why you ought to be amped up for being educated on this urgent subject. Absence of long-haul studies. One of the essential worries about GMOs is the absence of extensive, long-haul studies surveying their effect on human well-being. While numerous administrative bodies have announced GMOs all right for utilization, pundits contend that the drawn-out well-being impacts stay obscure. This vulnerability is a critical explanation people select non-GMO food varieties. The shortfall of broad, long-haul concentrating on the impacts of GMOs on human well-being leaves a basic information hole. While transient examinations might give a few experiences, they will not catch potential well-being results that could appear over the long haul. Considering this, wary people often like to decide in favor of judiciousness and choose non-GMO options, particularly regarding food sources they devour consistently. Hypersensitive response SMOs can bring allergenic proteins into food sources where they would not normally happen. For people with food sensitivities, devouring GMOs can be hazardous, as they may unconsciously ingest allergens that were absent in the first, non-GMO rendition of the food. This worry is huge in our current reality where food sensitivities are on the ascent, influencing many individuals. Hypersensitive responses to food can go from gentle uneasiness to dangerous circumstances. For those with sensitivities, the possibility of consuming GMOs that could bring new allergens into their eating regimens is a serious well-being concern. The absence of clear marking on numerous GMO items worsens this issue, as it very well may be provoking for people to distinguish and stay away from allergens. Herbicide and pesticide buildups. Numerous GMO crops are designed to be impervious to explicit herbicides and pesticides. This can prompt expanded substance use in horticulture, which can bring about higher deposits of these synthetics in GMO crops. Certain individuals are worried that eating GMO food varieties might open them to more significant levels of these synthetic buildups, which can antagonistically affect well-being. The potential for raised herbicide and pesticide buildups in GMO food sources brings up significant issues about their well-being. While advocates contend that these yields decrease the requirement for synthetic showering, pundits fight that the obstruction presented to the plants could prompt an over-reliance on specific synthetics, prompting expanded buildups that end up on our plates. Change of dietary substance is proof to recommend that the hereditary change of harvests can adjust their wholesome substance. For instance, a few investigations have shown that GMO harvests might have decreased degrees of fundamental supplements. Staying away from GMOs is seen by some to guarantee that they are getting the most potential healthy food. Nourishment is a foundation of good well-being, and any progressions to the healthful substance of ordinarily devoured food varieties raise concerns. A few examinations have demonstrated that GMOs yields might have lower levels of fundamental nutrients and minerals. For the people who depend on these food sources as a wellspring of key supplements, this presents serious areas of strength for to search out non-GMOs options. Ecological worries. The ecological effect of GMOs likewise assumes a critical part in individuals' decision to stay away from them. The development of GMOs harvests can prompt ecological issues, like the advancement of herbicide-safe weeds and the deficiency of biodiversity. The individuals who focus on natural maintainability frequently stay away from GMOs food sources to diminish their biological impression. The ecological worries encompassing GMOs reach out past human well-being. The improvement of herbicide-safe weeds, for example, can prompt an endless loop, where more intense herbicides are utilized, nagging biological systems and pollinators. Biodiversity misfortune because of monoculture. Cultivating resources related with GMOs crops is another major problem that eco-cognizant shoppers consider while picking what to put on their plates. Support for natural and non-GMO horticulture. For people who support natural and non-GMOs horticulture, deciding to keep away from GMOs involves fundamentalism. Many accept that supporting non-GMOs and natural cultivating resources is a method for empowering feasible, normal cultivating techniques that advance better soils, environments, and human well-being. Advocates for natural and non-GMOs farming frequently contend that these strategies focus on human well-being as well as the prosperity of the planet. Natural cultivating resources advance soil well-being, diminish the utilization of engineered synthetics, and keep up with biodiversity, making them an appealing choice for the people who wish to help manageable and eco-accommodating food creation. Naming and straightforwardness. Certain areas, GMOs naming is compulsory, while in others, it is not needed. The people who esteem straightforwardness and the option to realize what is in their food might pick non-GMOs choices, as they accept purchasers ought to have the decision to arrive at informed conclusions about the items they devour. The capacity to settle on informed decisions about what we eat is a principal part of purchaser opportunity. The people who advocate for GMOs naming contend that it is not about the decision to keep away from GMOs yet. In addition, about straightforwardness and the capacity to settle on cognizant choices. Marking enables buyers to choose for themselves whether they need to remember GMOs for their weight control plans, lining up with their convictions and well-being concerns. To conclude, the choice to keep away from GMOs or bioengineered food sources is an individual one, driven by worries about long-haul well-being impacts, allergens, substance deposits, dietary substance, ecological maintainability, and straightforwardness in food marking. While the discussion over the well-being of GMOs proceeds, purchasers are urged to pursue decisions that line up with their qualities and worries about their well-being and the climate. It is essential to remain informed, think about the proof, and go with decisions that are best for your singular well-being and prosperity. If you find this video to have useful information, offer it a go-ahead. Hit the subscribe button and share it with your companions. How about we push the discussion further? Until sometime later, investigate the concerns raised and remain tuned for additional interesting investigations here on our channel. If you want to read the full script on the subject, a link has been given in the description. Take care, stay blessed.